my favorite memories in med school was in a geriatrics lecture. The professor asked for a volunteer. So of course I was like, shit, I don't want to get picked. So sure enough, I got picked. So the professor asked me to go down to the front of the classroom, and he gives me these headphones that are basically noise cancellation and some goggles. And the goggles were smudged up and scratched up, so I could barely see. So I'm sitting at the front of the classroom, I have these goggles on, I have these noise canceling earmuffs on, and the professor instructs the class to do various things. So first he tells the entire class to rapidly turn their head towards the exit door. And so, of course, I'm like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? Like, is someone coming in? But nothing happens. So I'm sitting there, and I guess he then told the entire class to rapidly turn their heads right at me and then laugh. So I'm sitting there, and now everybody's laughing at me, and I'm like, what in the hell? At some point, I just kind of gave up trying to understand what was going on because I could barely see, I could barely hear. Into the experiment, he has me take off my goggles and earphones, and he asked me, describe to the class what that experience was like for you. It was interesting because the noise canceling headphones, I could make out a word here and there, but it was such a struggle to listen and try and get the context of the conversation that I just gave up. It was like there was just no point in trying. And with the goggles, I can make out shapes, I can kind of see people's facial expressions, but it wasn't enough for me to understand the context of the situation. So then he asked me, what did it feel like? And I told him it was very isolating and depressing, to be honest with you. So he said, exactly. Now, if you think about that, I had just a few minutes of loss of vision and hearing, and I already felt depressed and isolated. That little social experiment taught me a heck of a lot more than the lecturer just standing there saying, make sure your elders have glasses and hearing aids. I mean, I've experienced that. So imagine how our elders feel when they can't see or hear and the family's gathering and we're having a great time laughing. They have no idea what's going on. In fact, it can be very frustrating. It's also important to note that depression in the elderly can look very much like dementia. So if you take care of an elderly loved one, just know that these little things make a big difference in their lives. And if you like that story, follow for more. I got lots of med school stories.